Hello and welcome to the Shepherd's Hut with your host, David Vélez, where we explore the intersection of faith, psychology, and everyday life. Today's episode dives deep into a topic that impacts all of us: anger. As psychologist tells us, is a natural and healthy emotion, but like a fire, if left unchecked, it can become destructive. We'll look at how modern psychology helps us manage this powerful emotion while also examining what Scripture has to say about it. Understanding anger from a psychological perspective. Anger as a response to threat or injustice. Psychologists view anger as an emotional response to perceived threats or injustices. It often arises when we feel unfairly treated or when our goals are blocked. In these situations, anger can motivate us to address the wrongs we face. But if it escalates into aggression, it can lead to destructive behavior. The difference between anger and aggression anger, in and itself, is not harmful. It's an emotional state. However, when anger turns into aggression, that's where problems arise. Aggression can manifest in harmful behaviors like verbal and physical violence. Learning to control anger is key to avoiding aggressive outbursts that damage relationships and reputations. Cognitive behavioral theory and anger cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, shows us that much of our anger comes from irrational beliefs or misinterpretations. For example, assuming someone is disrespecting you without evidence can lead to unnecessary anger. CBT helps us identify these cognitive distortions, allowing us to manage our reactions better. The fight or flight response anger activates the body's fight or flight response. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, and adrenaline surges. These psychological responses prepare us for action, but if not regulated, can lead to explosive behavior or long-term stress. Understanding these reactions helps in managing them before they get out of hand. Anger management techniques. Psychologists offer several ways to control anger. Relaxation techniques like deep breathing or mindfulness can ease physical symptoms. Cognitive reconstruction helps reframe situations, turning negative thoughts into more balanced perspectives. Problem-solving skills and communication techniques allow us to address anger constructively without resorting to aggression. What does the Bible say about anger? Now, let's turn to Scripture. The Bible has a lot to say about anger, and it echoes much of what modern psychology tells us, but with an added emphasis on spiritual growth. Ephesians 4:26 through 27 teaches us, "In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry." This verse acknowledges that anger is a normal emotion, but warns us not to allow it to turn into sinful actions or to hold on to it too long. James 1:19 through 20 advises, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. Patience and self-control are essential in managing anger in a way that aligns with God's will." Proverbs 15:1 teaches us the power of gentle responses. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. How we respond can either diffuse or escalate conflict. Proverbs 29:11 contrasts wisdom and folly. Fools give full vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. Wisdom calls for self-control and measured responses. Colossians 3:8 warns us, rid yourself of anger, rage, and malice. This verse encourages believers to avoid destructive emotions and actions, emphasizing spiritual maturity and emotional control. Bruce Banner and the Hawk, a modern metaphor for anger. We've all heard of Bruce Banner, better known as the Hawk. This character represents the struggle with anger on an extreme level. When Banner gets angry, he transforms into the Hawk, a force of destruction. Despite his incredible strength, the Hawk often causes more harm than good due to uncontrolled rage. Banner's story reminds us that unchecked anger can become a monster in our own lives, leading to regret and destruction. Righteous versus unrighteous anger. So, is anger good or bad? Psychologists and scripture agree that anger is not inherently evil. In fact, righteous anger, like when Jesus overturned the tables of the money changers in the temple, can inspire change in justice. However, unrighteous anger, driven by pride or a desire for revenge, can cloud judgment and lead to harm. In the Bible, unjustified anger is equated to sin, sometimes even compared to murder, due to the damage it causes. This is why managing anger before it spirals out of control is crucial for living a life of faith and peace. Here's some closing thoughts and a call to action. Anger is a part of being human, whether you approach it from a psychological or a biblical perspective. The key is how we handle it. Channeling anger into a positive action, practicing self-control, and seeking God's guidance can help us navigate this challenging emotion. If you found today's episode insightful, be sure to subscribe to The Shepherd's Hut so you never miss an episode. I encourage you to leave a review and share this episode with someone who could benefit from learning more about managing anger in a healthy, faith-centered way. Until next time, God bless.